Before we begin, take a breath, because today we're not just learning, we're remembering who we truly are. In every hardship, Allah leaves a door. Today, we talk about the door many people can't see anymore. There's a question quietly echoing through millions of hearts. Why are so many people depressed these days? And the truth is, it's not because people have become weaker, it's because the world has become heavier.
Before we dive deeper, here's what you're going to find in this video and why it matters. You're going to understand why so many people feel overwhelmed today, not in a vague motivational way, but through real psychology, real philosophy, and real spiritual wisdom. You'll learn how modern life quietly exhausts the mind, how Stoicism gives you tools to regain control, and how Islam gives you meaning, grounding, and hope. By the end of this video, you won't just understand depression, you'll understand yourself. You'll walk away with clarity, with perspective, and with a sense of peace that maybe you haven't felt in a long time. This isn't just information, it's a roadmap, a way back to yourself.
Right now, more than 300 million people worldwide are living with depression. That means someone in your family, your workplace, your friend circle is silently fighting a battle you may not even see. Women report depression more often, not because they're weaker, but because they're more open about emotional pain. Men often experience it just as deeply, but society teaches them to hide it behind silence, work, or anger. Different expressions, same suffering. And why are people not content anymore? Because the world has trained us to chase everything except peace. We chase success, validation, perfection, comparison, speed, and noise. But we don't chase stillness. We don't chase gratitude. We don't chase presence. We don't chase meaning. Let me give you a real-life example. A young woman wakes up, opens Instagram, and sees people her age traveling, buying houses, getting promotions, looking perfect. She hasn't even brushed her teeth yet, and she already feels like she's losing at life. Not because her life is bad, but because comparison has stolen her contentment. A man works hard every day, but no matter how much he earns, the bills rise faster. He feels like he's running on a treadmill, moving, sweating, trying, but going nowhere. Not because he's failing, but because the system is designed to exhaust him. And maybe you've felt this too. Maybe you've had days where you wake up tired, not because you didn't sleep, but because your soul is exhausted. Maybe you've smiled in public and broken down in private. Maybe you've been surrounded by people and still felt alone. So let me ask you something, and answer it honestly in your heart. When was the last time you felt truly at peace? When was the last time you woke up without anxiety? When was the last time you felt enough without needing more? Because this is what's destroying peace today. Constant comparison, constant stimulation, constant pressure, constant fear of falling behind. We are living in a world that never stops, and minds that were never designed for this pace are breaking under the weight. And this is exactly why I want you to watch this video until the end. Because the second half isn't just explanation, it's transformation. You're going to learn how to fight depression with real tools, how to rebuild your mindset, how to strengthen your emotional intelligence, and how to reclaim the peace that modern life has stolen from you. So stay with me. Don't skip, don't click away. If you've ever felt overwhelmed, lost, or mentally exhausted, the answers you've been searching for might finally make sense today. We are living in a time where everything moves fast, but the human heart still beats at the same ancient rhythm. Let's break this down. First, modern life is overstimulating. Your brain was never designed for constant noise. It was built for calm, for nature, for slow mornings and human faces. But today, we wake up to alarms, notifications, messages, deadlines, and comparison. Every scroll shows someone living a life you're told you should have. Your nervous system never gets silence. And when the mind never rests, it eventually collapses. Second, economic pressure is crushing people. You work harder than ever, yet feel less secure than ever. Life is expensive. Housing feels impossible. Jobs feel temporary. And that quiet financial fear sits in the back of your mind like a weight you can't put down. Third, community has collapsed. Humans survived through tribes, families, neighbors, shared spaces. But today, people feel alone in crowded cities. We replaced connection with convenience. We replaced conversation with screens. Loneliness has become the silent epidemic of our generation. Fourth, expectations are unrealistic. Society tells you to be successful by 25, look perfect, be confident, be productive, be emotionally intelligent, be financially stable, and constantly improve. It's an impossible checklist. And when people can't meet it, they don't question the checklist, they question themselves. Fifth, the world feels unstable. Wars, politics, climate fear, economic uncertainty. Humans need a sense of safety. But today, the world feels like it's shaking, and people feel that shake inside their minds. Sixth, people don't get real rest. Not just sleep, but emotional rest, mental rest, creative rest, and social rest. Most people are running on empty, trying to survive another day. And finally, we talk about mental health more openly now. This is good. People used to hide their pain. Now they name it. So the numbers look higher, but part of that is honesty. Now let's look at what Stoic philosophy says about all this. Stoicism teaches that we suffer more from our thoughts than from reality. Most of our pain comes from imagination, fear, and overthinking. If you don't control your thoughts will control you. Stoicism also teaches that some things are in our control and some things are not. Modern people try to control everything: outcomes, people, the future, opinions. This creates exhaustion. Stoicism says, focus only on what you can control and let the rest go. Stoics warn that chasing status, validation, and perfection leads to misery. Modern society pushes us to do more, be more, achieve more. Stoicism says, do what is essential and ignore the noise. They believed in community. Humans break when they live like islands. Connection is part of strength. They practiced discomfort to build resilience. Modern life avoids discomfort, so when hardship comes, people collapse. Stoicism says strength is trained, not gifted. And Stoics constantly examined their own mind. Today, people distract themselves instead of reflecting. Stoicism says, understand your mind, or it will control you. Now let's look at what Islam says about depression. Islam teaches that sadness is not a sin. Emotional pain is not a sign of weak faith. Even prophets felt deep grief. Yaqub cried until he lost his eyesight. Maryam wished for death out of despair. Yunus felt overwhelmed in darkness. The prophet himself lived through the year of sorrow. Islam treats emotional struggle with compassion, not blame. Islam reframes suffering as a meaningful test, not a punishment. Hardship is part of the human journey. It is not a sign of failure. It is a path to growth, purification, and closeness to Allah. Islam teaches that you are not meant to carry everything alone. Community, support, and connection are part of faith. A believer supports another believer like bricks in a building.
Islam shows that even the greatest people experienced emotional darkness. Their stories normalize human pain. Islam also gives practical tools: dhikr to calm the heart, salah to reset the mind 5 times a day, tawakkul to release what you cannot control, gratitude to shift focus from fear to clarity. And Islam encourages seeking medical and psychological help. The Prophet said, "Every illness has a cure." Mental health is not just spiritual, it is also physical and emotional.
When we combine everything, modern psychology, Stoic philosophy, and Islamic wisdom, one message becomes clear. People today are not broken. They are overwhelmed. The world changed, the pace changed, the expectations changed, but the human mind is still human. Stoicism teaches inner control. Islam teaches meaning and patience. Modern psychology teaches support and treatment. Together they say, you are not alone. You are not weak. You are carrying a heavy load in a difficult time, and there is a path forward. If you found this video powerful, please like, share, and subscribe. Join the family, and let's keep learning, growing, and healing together. So, before we end, let's go one step deeper. Because understanding the problem is only half the journey. The other half is learning how to rise again. If you're watching this, you're not just looking for information, you're looking for direction, for tools, for something you can actually use tomorrow morning when you wake up and the world feels heavy again. So let's talk about that. You're going to understand why so many people feel overwhelmed today, not in a vague motivational way, but through real psychology, real philosophy, and real spiritual wisdom. You'll learn how modern life quietly exhausts the mind, how Stoicism gives you tools to regain control, and how Islam gives you meaning, grounding, and hope. By the end of this video, you won't just understand depression, you'll understand yourself. You'll walk away with clarity, with perspective, and with a sense of peace that maybe you haven't felt in a long time. This isn't just information, it's a roadmap, a way back to yourself. Let's talk about what actually helps, not cliches, real human tools. Start by reducing the noise. Your mind is drowning in stimulation. Turn off non-essential notifications, limit doom scrolling, create 1 hour of no phone time every day. Replace noise with silence, Quran, or nature sounds. Real-life example. A man wakes up and checks his phone immediately. He sees bad news, perfect bodies, people achieving more than him. His day starts with comparison and anxiety. Wrong outcome? He feels behind before he even gets out of bed. Right outcome? He wakes up, breathes, stretches, and avoids his phone for 20 minutes. His mind starts the day in peace, not panic. Encouraging. Move your body, even gently. You don't need a gym. You don't need motivation. You just need movement. A 10-minute walk, light stretching, breathing exercises, standing in sunlight. Movement tells your brain, I am alive, I am capable, I am not stuck. Empathetic. Talk to someone. One person is enough. You don't need a crowd. You need one safe human. A friend, a sibling, a spouse, a therapist, a mentor. Real-life example. Someone keeps everything inside because they don't want to burden anyone. Wrong outcome? The pressure builds until they break. Right outcome? They share even 10% of what they feel. The weight becomes lighter. Connection becomes medicine. Steady, motivating. Create small wins. Depression makes everything feel impossible. So shrink the battlefield. Make your bed. Drink water, take a shower, reply to one message, walk for 5 minutes. Small wins rebuild self-trust.
philosophical, grounded. Let's talk about mindset. Mindset isn't about thinking positive, it's about thinking accurately. Stop catastrophizing. Your brain jumps to the worst-case scenario because it's trying to protect you. Wrong mindset? If I fail once, I'm a failure. Right mindset? I failed once. That means I'm learning. Calm, wise. Focus on what you can control. This is pure Stoicism and pure Islam. You can control your effort, your habits, your reactions, your intentions. You cannot control people, outcomes, the past, or the future. Real-life example. Someone applies for a job and doesn't get it. Wrong outcome? I'm worthless. Right outcome? I controlled my effort. Allah controls the result. Gentle, firm. Replace self-criticism with self-respect. Talk to yourself the way you would talk to someone you love. Wrong self-talk? I'm useless. I can't do anything right. Right self-talk? I'm struggling, but I'm trying, and that matters. Soft, reflective. Let's talk about emotional intelligence. It's not about being calm all the time. It's about understanding your emotions instead of being controlled by them. Name your emotions. If you can name it, you can tame it. Instead of I feel bad, try I feel overwhelmed. I feel lonely. I feel disappointed. I feel tired. Naming creates clarity. Slow, controlled. Pause before reacting. A 3-second pause can save relationships, careers, and peace. Wrong reaction? Instant anger, instant reply, instant regret. Right reaction? Pause. Breathe. Respond with intention, not impulse. Gentle, introspective. Understand the story behind your emotions. Every emotion has a root. Anger often hides hurt. Sadness often hides exhaustion. Jealousy often hides insecurity. Anxiety often hides uncertainty. When you understand the root, you gain control. Gentle, human. Practice empathy. Try to understand what the other person might be feeling, not just what they're doing. Real-life example. Your friend cancels plans last minute. Wrong outcome? They don't care about me. Right outcome? Maybe they're overwhelmed. Let me check in with kindness. So here's the truth. You are not meant to walk through life numb, exhausted, or alone. You are not meant to carry every burden in silence. You are not meant to fight your mind without tools, without guidance, without support. You deserve peace. You deserve clarity. You deserve a life where your mind is your ally, not your enemy. And Allah has not abandoned you. Every hardship you face is shaping you, strengthening you, preparing you. Every tear you shed is seen. Every silent prayer is heard. Every step you take, even the small ones, is counted. If this video helped you, stay with us. This is a journey, and you don't have to walk it alone. Like, share, subscribe, and let's keep learning, growing, and healing together.